Authorities in Mexico say a suspect arrested in a border city with assault rifles was not involved in the massacre of 9 family members near the U.S. border this week. 3 women, 4 children, and 2 infants were killed after an ambush in northern Mexico. They were part of a 3-car convoy driving about 130 kilometers from the border. Officials suspect drug cartel members are responsible. All the victims belong to a local group of Mormons. Some of the survivors were airlifted to hospital in Tucson, Arizona. Michelle Marisco is the border reporter and senior editor for the Fronteras desk at NPR member station KJZZ in Phoenix. He was on the story as it was happening and joins us now. So Michelle, your team has had a chance to speak with the victims' families. What are you hearing?
There's still a lot of pain here. There's a lot of anguish and anger. Among some of the questions that some of the family have brought up is this reasoning by the Mexican government that they weren't targeted, that this was a case of mistaken identity. The family has said that, look, they were presenting themselves and coming out with their arms up out of the vehicles, and the gunmen continued to attack. So their thinking is that no, this was a target. They weren't intended to kill these people. As you well know, the Baron family has had an extensive history of openly criticizing not only drug traffickers, but the Mexican government's response to drug traffickers.
And so what is the latest on the investigation?
It hasn't moved very much, I can tell you that. They've identified, they said that with the burned vehicle that we've all seen this just chilling video of, actually was not set on fire. They said that it had exploded after the rounds had hit the engine. This is from the Mexican government this morning. The president has said that they used a common caliber bullet, the .223 round, and that there was only about 2,000 soldiers from different army outposts that were situated in the area, and that's why it had taken some time for the Mexican army to arrive to the area.
And I know that I've been told you've reported on running gun battles in this area before, but not in a case like this. Do you think what happened Monday will change anything, especially in the government's approach to drug cartels?
Well, there's a few things that have been happening in Mexico. Last month, the Mexican army had arrested a high-level drug trafficker, the son of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, there in the city of Culiacan, Sinaloa. The Sinaloa cartel terrorized the city in response and forced the government to release him. The president of Mexico said that this was the only choice. In the case of this current situation with 6 children and 3 mothers dead and American citizens on top of that, he has continued to insist that war would be irrational, to use his words from this morning. So right now he's starting to face pressure, but he's not giving up.
And why do you think there is this level of violence? It seems to be, I know there's been tens of thousands of people that have been killed in Mexico just this year, but women and children, infants being targeted.
Yes. Part of it's impunity. I mean, yes, there's obviously the demand for narcotics in the U.S. Like this never goes away, obviously. But also the lack of prosecution. This is a near perfect situation of impunity for drug traffickers, for murderers, and for these cartel gunmen in that country. I'm talking less than 5% of these cases ever see the light of prosecution, let alone successful prosecution.
Michelle, appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle Marisco is the border reporter and senior editor for the Fronteras desk at NPR member station KJZZ in Phoenix.